Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We are seeing a diverse civilization today. On the one side is free enterprise, and then there's the revulsion against capitalism in the most capitalist country of the world, that's the United States. Why is it? In democracies like India, the charges of a crony capitalism are taking place. Then comes a technology explosion. All this combined is making people worry, disturbed even. And the primary thing that is lacking is the trust in the businesses. The business politics nexus is an established one and one need not talk about it. All politics thrives on business shady deals. And good businesses are promoted by good politicians. But the technology explosion that has happened has changed the very shape of it. And very few people have that public trust. As a matter of fact, public trust is waning, decreasing every day. So it's incumbent on the businesses to promote trust as technology advances, as transparency increases, as social media increases its impact, where even misinformation and disinformation can be treated and believed as gospel truth. Somebody has to promote trust. Politicians must do it, but they are failing. So why can't the businesses do it? And the businessmen who promote trust are really revered. Look at the trust people have in Ratan Tata and his father J.R.D. Tata. The whole Tata family, as a matter of fact, has the trust of the people. But the newcomers, who the fourth largest and the wealthiest businessman, Ambani, are now upcoming Adani, they don't have the trust of the people. People treat them with contempt, even, if not with hatred primarily. But then they are treated as scum, while Tatas were treated with respect, with veneration. Same is true of other places. Jeff, Amazon, Soros, Bloomberg do not get the respect. Zuckerberg doesn't get the respect which Bill Gates gets, which Warren Buffett gets because of their trust and their charity businesses. We cannot deny that in the last decade, the erosion of trust has been a key thing, and the business leaders must engage in the same thing for the years to come. The continuous change that we are seeing with rapid speed is unsettling people. People are bewildered. Take the example of Hyperloop. People will or the electric cars. On the one side, the people say they are good, but then the real research shows they're equally bad, if not worse, than the present ones. That's why the pollution is created. Not only that, as I said earlier, the technological advances in social media has people made worried about their basic rights and freedom. Are they imperiled? And the behavior of some high-tech companies in releasing the private data of the people has made them afraid. The various studies show confidence decreasing in businesses and, of course, in government and the political institutions. So the institutions which are supposed to protect, and herein comes the role of Gandhian philosophy. I'm no votary of Gandhi, let's be very clear, but then Some things he promoted and something he advocated have not only kernel of truth but a lot of validity. He wanted businessmen to be the trustees of the people, trustees of the wealth. Agreed. They have their entrepreneurship skills which have to be rewarded. But primarily, if the market is not there, or if the workers are not there, all their ideas will be flat. So they have got to act as trustees of the public fund. Keep some money for themselves, but let them not be selfish, self centered, and greedy, avarice. And can you believe that 75% of the people in the business is just the businesses? That's amazing. It's a dichotomy, it's a paradox. That the people who are in business, either as employer or as employees, believe in business. They believe that they are not doing anything wrong. And the employees believe that their bosses are right. 75% believe. 25%, of course, do not believe. But a similar proportion believes that the companies are not acting in a way to improve economic and social conditions of the world. So, fostering and promoting trust is not only about greater good or because of the ethical considerations. Let's forget the ethics for the time, but let's concentrate on the human value and also on the profit itself. If the people have trust in the brand, and that's what we call the brand royalty, it's beneficial to the bottom line. The employees at high trust companies report that they have more energy to work. If the company looks after them, they look after the company. And I've seen it myself. There was a failing company, and I was asked by the bank to take charge as CEO. And in 1 year, I wiped the loss of the people, the company accumulated for the last 7 years in 1 year. And I didn't do wonders. I couldn't do it if I had not the cooperation of the people, the 700 odd workers. I mean, see, I involved them, enthused them, and the same production, which was 5,000 watches a year, sorry, a month, increased to 50,000 watches a month. I didn't add a single machine. I didn't add a single worker. The same workers who were producing 5,000 watches a month were producing 50,000 watches a month. Result, 7 years losses wiped out. Net profit of crores of rupees given. Bank loans wiped off. So it was because I generated energy in them. They had trust in me. And the people, the buyers, the retailers, the wholesalers, they had that trust. So we became much more productive. Research says that the people become 50% more productive and more engaged than those in the low trust company. But I generated trust. And what to say of 50 from 5,000 to 50,000, you can well 100 times more productive, not 50% more, but 100 times more. And then, after the workers become energized and produce work, the customers are motivated to buy from the brands that embody their values. And that's why, in the times of this Black Lives Matter and others, people, the companies, have stopped calling their products even by the names that suggest any discrimination. Fair and lovely claim is no longer fair and lovely. It might be lovely still, but it's definitely not fair. So we forget that the companies, the government institutions, the organizations, by themselves they are nothing, but they're the guardians of the society. And they have got to offer reassurance and confidence while promoting innovation. And without innovation, there can be no progress. So, how to keep moving forward and keep innovating while also preserving and extending trust is $1 million question, and that has to be made. The various steps can be taken globally. The first is, of course, strengthen global cooperation for the digital trust and security. The biggest fear people today have, the digital security and the cyber crime, hacking. So you have got to increase global cooperation between the public and the private sector, PPP. The PPP has to be there, public-private partnership, and that will address the key challenges of security and trust posed by a digital landscape now. The digital landscape is murky, let's not deny. People go to Facebook, people go to Twitter, they go to WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp dictionary is full of howlers and misinformation and disinformation. And I also recently saw a post by a friend. He had a Times of India cutting, pasted, all fake, saying that Macaulay had derided Indian culture. And he said that it was published in 1853 or something like that, 35. While that time the India Times of India did not exist. It came into being 4 years after that the date he had mentioned. And the man he said that he had given a talk, Macaulay, in House of Commons, was in Calcutta. So the hoaxes, the frauds, they are denuding the trust of the people. So as I said, the digital landscape today lacks effective cooperation at the legal and policy levels. It lacks effective marketing incentives. And there's a lack of cooperation between stakeholders at the operational level across the ecosystem. So all this has to be removed. There has to be more effective cooperation. There has to be incentive in marketing. There has to be cooperation with the stakeholders at all levels. So that's the first thing. Without that, trust will not be regained. The second, you have to secure future digital networks and technology to identify cybersecurity challenges. They have to be forecast. They have to be foretold. You don't fight fire, you prevent fire. That's the most important thing. So the new technologies which come, which accelerate solutions and incentives, should be modulated to ensure digital trust. And then the fourth industrial revolution would be a success. And then the sustainable goals would be achieved. Otherwise, no. Then you have to build skills and capabilities for the digital future. And that can be done by promoting initiatives to address the global deficit in professional skills. As a matter of fact, I'm planning to give a talk. Who needs the degrees now? We don't need degrees. We don't need the education as it is. We need skills, professional skills. We need leadership. We need empathy. And we need adequate capabilities in the cyber domain. So what's required is a safety first. Most important is safety. People are spending more and more time online, and almost every aspect of life today has a digital dimension. Can you think even of your entertainment, your education, your purchases without this digital dimension? No. For the consumer, the amount of information and choice is absolutely nonplussing, bewildering. So, by demonstrating strong values, by demonstrating expertise, the company leaders can help bring clarity and simplicity. Let simplicity replace complexity. Complexity confuses, simplicity confirms belief and promotes faith. So, give people tools to make informed decisions. Let the people make a decision, but provide them the tools. They don't have the tools. So businesses can do this, and they can do it by ensuring that they are keeping pace with the risk and also complying with all the global privacy and data protection regulations. When they don't do it, then the people don't have trust. Not only that, At present, all policies developed by either the politicians or the bureaucrats sitting in the ivory towers. No, companies must have a participation in that. And that's where the global initiative like Cybersecurity Technical Award or the Principles for Artificial Intelligence to foster collaboration and promote safer online worlds are important. Then working together like this is one of the best ways to face a cybercrime. Then bring everything along. It has to be a partnership. It's not something to be done in the cloistered groups. Make sure that nobody is left behind. That's a key element. It's vital to be transparent about what's being done and why it's being done. The companies have to educate the people as they go, not keep things hidden. And trust would be eroded, depleted, when the people don't understand that technology is available to them. Either they are not aware of the technology or they don't know how to use it. It's not enough to expect them to be at desk in the colleges and schools. Forget that, as I said. The rapid evolution of the business environment makes lifelong learning more important than ever. And here the businesses must play their role. Then spread influence. That's one thing more. Business leaders have a responsibility to ensure that the wider ecosystem embodies the same values that the people have. So they must actively engage with their supply chains. You have to work with a wider ecosystem to make sure that the partners, suppliers, the buyers embrace the same standards, especially with the environmental impact. You can work more deep into network beyond the direct contest to expose other risks. And the businesses which show that they look here, this is the technology, this is the risk you're going to take, would be trusted more. Technology is an important part of solution. Blockchain, robotic process of automation will flow every step of the supply chain to track and to be verified. And then the same process can be used in financial space. Why don't we use supply chain to shine a lot of money on the flow of money? And then we'll be able to understand where the money laundering is being done and how it's being done, and the people will take care not to do it. So trust is not a one-time project. It's not a one-night affair. It's not a one-night stand. It's a long-term project, and one must be built over time. It's about transparency. It's about integrity. It's about collaboration. It's about balance between allowing innovation to take place while safeguarding privacy and security. And then you know what we need is a new type of leadership. Of course, we need a new leadership at the political level, but we need a new leadership at the business level as well. And that leadership would have the stakeholder capitalism at the heart, not socialism, not communism, but capitalism, but one with the stakeholder. What I mean is the old concept, the garbage, the trust issue. So as we strike on the digital age, so as we move further in the digital age, it's hard to imagine how wide-ranging the changes to the life is going to cause. And if the trust is not there, these changes would be devastating. We need to act today because fostering faith in what's happening ultimately stands to benefit all, the consumer, the business, the government, to the community, to the society as a whole. But without trust, it's nowhere. We are going nowhere. We are in a desert. We are following a mirage. Let the mirage turn into a real oasis by fostering trust. Thank you.